So today we have to continue with the human urinary system, which is also known as excretory system. So in human urinary system there are two kidneys, there are two ureters, there is one urinary bladder and a urethra. Okay, so one by one we will study about the structure, location and function of all these organs found in the human urinary system. Then this is the diagrammatic representation of urinary system. You are observing here, this is right kidney, this is left kidney. Above the kidney there is an endocrine gland that is known as adrenal gland. Okay, then there is a notch like, kidneys are bean shaped structure, and a notch like structure on the concave side of the kidney is known as hilum. So this hilum is the exit point for the ureter. Okay, this hilum is the entry point of the renal artery. The red one is the renal artery. This one is the renal artery. Listen here, renal is the Latin term which means kidney. Renal is the Latin term which means kidney, and hepatic is also the Latin term which means liver. So in biology, if you get any hepatic word, it means it is related to liver, and if you get this renal term, it means this particular structure or any particular structure is related to the kidney. So renal artery is the artery which is bringing the blood, okay, from the heart to the kidney. So this renal artery is carrying the oxygenated blood, but it will have the waste with it. And which waste? That is the nitrogenous waste. And this nitrogenous waste will be removed or filtered by the kidney. Okay. Then the blue one is the renal vein. So renal vein will carry the deoxygenated blood but free from nitrogenous waste, and it will give the blood to the heart. Okay. Then you are observing that the right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney. These are the two ureters. Okay, narrow tube-like structure present between the kidney and the urinary bladder. So this ureter carries the urine. This is a muscular triangular bag-like structure that is known as what? Urinary bladder. So this bladder will be filled with the urine. So it will act as a part which will temporarily store the urine inside it. So as this bag will be filled with the required amount of urine, it will get stretched, and as it will get stretched, the nerves from this particular bag will be taking the message to the brain, and brain will get the message that this bag is filled with the urine. Then the motor neuron from the brain will bring the message to the sphincter muscle over here present at the tip of the urethra. So this sphincter muscle will get relaxed, and as the sphincter muscle will get relaxed, this particular urethra will open and the urine will be emptied outside from the body. So one by one we will see here. So main urinary organ present inside our body is what? Kidney. What is the structure of kidney? It is bean shaped. It is 10 centimeter in length and 6 centimeter in its width. It is present on the either side of the backbone and in the abdominal cavity. So human is this head. Okay. Then the body cavity is divided into two parts. The upper one is the thoracic cavity, which is surrounded by the rib cage. Okay. And the lower part below this diaphragm is the abdominal cavity. Okay. Then this kidney is protected by last two ribs, that is the floating ribs. Right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney, as you have seen in the diagram. Right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney. Okay. Then there is hilum. So what is hilum? It is a notch-like structure, and where it is present on the concave side of the kidney. So this part is hilum. On the concave side of the kidney, a notch like a depression like a structure that is known as hilum. Okay. Function of this hilum is what? Ureter will arise from the hilum, and it is also the point for the entry of renal artery and exit for the renal vein. So renal vein will carry the deoxygenated blood but free from nitrogenous waste, and it will carry the blood to the heart. Renal artery will bring the blood from the heart to the kidney. So the blood in this is oxygenated but loaded with the nitrogenous waste. Okay. Then pelvis. The expanded front end of the ureter present in the kidney is known as pelvis. Okay. This expanded end of the ureter present in the kidney is known as what? Pelvis. Okay. Then ureters are narrow tube-like structure, and where it is present in between the kidney and the urinary bladder in the abdominal cavity, and function, it acts as a passage for urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Then urinary bladder is a muscular bag-like structure. Where it is present at the end of the ureters in the abdominal cavity, and the function of the urinary bladder is the temporary storage of urine. Then urethra is a narrow passage-like structure. It is present at the tip of the urinary bladder in the lower abdominal cavity, and the function of it that the urine will be emptied out from the body emptied out of the body from urinary bladder through this urethra. Okay. There's sphincter muscle, or which is circular muscle in nature, and it acts as a guard for the opening and closing of urethra. Okay. Then what is urination or micturition? So as the urinary bladder gets filled, the brain gets the impulse through the neurons from the urinary bladder. Under the impulse from the brain again through the neurons, that is the motor neurons, the sphincter muscle will get relaxed, and as the sphincter muscle will get relaxed, the urethra will open and the urine will get emptied out. And again, as the urinary bladder will get empty, the sphincter muscle will contract and the urethra will close. Okay. So this is again the same. Now what is the difference between secretion and excretion? Secretion is when something is given out by the cells or glands of our body. Excretion when something or some substance is released out from our body. Secretions are useful for our body and excretions are harmful for our body. So useful secretions are what? Tear, because this tear is secreted by the tear gland and it acts as an cleanser of our eyes. Sweat is also useful because it helps in the temperature regulation of our body. Saliva is also a useful substance because it helps in the digestion of the carbohydrates. Milk secreted by the mammary gland is also the useful substance. Insulin secreted by the pancreas, that is the beta cells of the pancreas, which regulates the glucose level of the blood. So all these are useful substances secreted either by the cells or by the glands. But urine is what? Harmful substance, and it is released out from our body, so that is why it is excretion. So this is all for today. Thank you everyone. Next class we will be starting with the structure of nephron.